Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here, and I wanna you like an animal.
Yeah, Hollywood, you know I love you more than one man should. Yeah, Hollywood, well kiss me good. Yeah, Hollywood, you know I love you more.
So today I come to you with another music review. We're going to talk about two bands that have been around for 20 plus years, believe it or not. They are definitely two of the best at their craft, and the thing about these two albums is one band is coming off of a couple of years that have been extremely strong, and one just decided to make albums after a couple of years ago announcing his retirement from the music world in terms of studio recordings. And we're going to take a look at these two albums side by side, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. So let's go with the first one. You all know that I am a Megadeth fan, and Megadeth has been around since the early 1980s, alongside the other of the big four, which is Anthrax, Slayer, and Metallica. But Dave Mustaine and his boys, even though he's gone through some big changes in his band, this time he brings along his bassist, Danny Elfson, and he brings us a very interesting album this time around. It's not the typical Megadeth sound, while it is metal, and you do hear Dave Mustaine's distinct voice in Super Collider. What's very interesting about this album is he brings a lot more of a classic rock and a blues element to his songs, and you can definitely hear that in the song Cold Sweat, and you can definitely hear that in the song Dance in the Rain and Off the Edge. But then, of course, you do have some typical ones like Kingmaker and Burn, but they're definitely different songs, and this is definitely a very different album. In 1988, he made this album called Risk, which was basically an experiment where he tried a brand new sound, and of course it didn't bode well with his fans. And then from 2001 up until 2012, he made so many awesome albums, and this one is just, I don't know, do you want to call it Risk Part 2? I'm not sure. It's a different sound, it's a different take. I just want to proceed with optimism and just be a little bit cautious because I have no idea what's going to come next from this band, but it's a very interesting listen, very different from Megadeth's usual, and I think you will definitely enjoy it. And the next album that I want to go over is the brand new album from Nine Inch Nails. This is the guy, Trent Reznor, the guy that he is, the godfather of industrial rock. He's the guy that announced his retirement a couple of years back, and I don't know what it was that got him back into the business, but what's very interesting about this one is, was it Atticus Ross that influenced him? Was it the fact that he won the very first Academy Award ever to be won by a rock artist for The Social Network? And then he went on to do another soundtrack with the girl with the dragon tattoo. I don't know what influenced him. This is definitely an awesome album. It's reminiscent of his first three albums, which are Pretty Hate Machine, Broken, and The Downward Spiral. And you definitely hear a lot of Pretty Hate Machine in the song like Copy of a, and you definitely hear more of The Downward Spiral in a song like All Time Low, and you hear a little bit of Broken in everything. So these songs in this album are really some of the best work that he has made in quite some time when it comes to the Nine Inch Nails brand, because after year zero, he came out with Ghosts 1 through 4, and he came out with Slip, and quite frankly, I was not really the biggest fan of that, and I'm not saying that albums like The Fragile, With Teeth, and Year Zero were bad, but there was something about them in which Nine Inch Nails just, I guess you could comedically say, went down the downward spiral after the downward spiral, and the sound just wasn't as impactful as it was, but Hesitation Marks has definitely brought him back up, and who knows if there's going to be another Nine Inch Nails album, if it's going to be a good one like Hesitation Marks, but this is definitely one of the better Nine Inch Nails albums, and I'm quite happy that Trent Reznor decided to get back into the game and make another Nine Inch Nails album. So, two new albums, guys. Enjoy them, and at this point in time, I'm going to say farewell. Of course, leave your comments in the box below. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I guess the question that I want to leave for you today is, what are your thoughts on a lot of these bands that are coming out from the X Factor and American Idol and all these other reality shows? Give me your thoughts on those, and if you don't, just don't. I am the Lawn Gnome, and actions speak louder than words.